Hello and welcome to the first video in the series where I explore using FluentCRM as the central piece in an online system for a service-based business. If you work one-on-one with clients to deliver services, this is going to be the central hub for your contact management, including your leads, prospects, clients, and even your internal team, and handle communications that drive relationship building, help you with marketing and sales. In this specific video, I'm going to cover the initial setup of FluentCRM, and in future videos, I will look at various features as well as share some of my own strategies and tips along the way. But before we do so, I want to answer two questions that you might have. The first of which is, what are the benefits of using FluentCRM? Well, the benefits are around the fact that it helps you to run your operations more smoothly or more effectively. And one way it does that is to help you keep track of your contacts at every stage of the journey. It will also help you stay organized with your team because everyone's working from the same system, as well as you can easily send bulk communications out to groups or segments. The second question I want to answer is, why specifically FluentCRM above third-party platforms, aka SaaS or software as a service? Well, the difference is that software as a service platforms are platforms that you subscribe to, you pay an ongoing basis to access the platform, and you use them within the constraints that they have. However, with FluentCRM, you have full control because this is a self-hosted platform using WordPress. There are several benefits that come with that. One of which is that you are more in control over your data as you are in charge and you get to set your own policies. Second of all is there's more flexibility with how it works because you get to customize it based on the features that you want to use, and you can extend its functions and features as well by adding plugins onto the platform. The third thing, and this is a big one, is that it saves you lots of money as well. Where other platforms will charge based on the number of contacts you have, they'll charge you for each individual contact, or they will charge you based on the features that you have access to, or the number of communications that you send out. It all adds up and it can be very expensive. Using FluentCRM saves you money because you're not paying per subscriber or per contact, unlike SaaS platforms. With FluentCRM, it doesn't really matter how large your list is. You basically don't pay anything extra. The only thing that varies with pricing is when you send out your email communications. You obviously pay for the emails, and the number of emails you send out, the higher the number of emails, the more you pay. However, even with that, it can be very inexpensive because there are several options that you can plug into to send these emails out. I've been using it for several years now and I am happy with it, and this is why I'm doing these videos, to share this with you so you can get up and running on the platform too. Now, at any point, if you have any questions related to anything that I'm showing you or with the setup or the strategy, leave comments below. I will try and answer them as best as I can, and I will track the comments, especially within the first few days of releasing a video. However, if you need direct help from me, head over to my website and see how you can access resources and get my help one-on-one to help you with the strategy or the technical setup. I'll leave a link, or just head to marlonmcpherson.com. So here I am on a more or less fresh installation of WordPress. This is a demo website that I'm going to be walking you through the setup process for FluentCRM. What you want to do to get the plugin installed is to go to your plugins area and go to add plugin and search for FluentCRM by just typing it into the search bar here, and it should come up. So I've got it installed already. As you can see, all I need to do is hit activate, but you would see the install now button here if you haven't got it installed. I'm going to go ahead and hit activate on that. Now, obviously I've activated it and it's appeared here. This is only the free version. What you want to do is also, to get the full features unlocked, is to go ahead and upload the pro version and install that as well. Now, if you haven't got the pro version, I encourage you to grab that there'll be a link in the description to where you can get it. So use that link. So I've already downloaded the Pro version, and I'm going to go ahead and upload and install that now as well. So all you got to do is just find it on your computer. That will be downloaded directly from the developer's website. So I've just found it on the computer, and I've added it to the section here, and I'm going to go ahead and hit install. And now I can activate it. So now that I've got FluentCRM installed, what I'm going to do is head over to the menu item here on the dashboard, and that should take me into a setup wizard. So in this setup wizard, what you can do is go through and complete the necessary information that you need here. Now, if you skip this, you will still have to go through the process to get things up and running, but this makes it a little bit easier. So what you want to do is go to Let's Go, and you can fill in your business or organization's information here and upload a logo. I'm not going to do that on this occasion. What I'm going to do is skip it to the next bit, which is the lists. Now, what I recommend is that you stick with one list unless you have a very good reason to have a separate list. So what we're going to do is have just a central list that we work from and separate or segment the contacts on that list using tags. So that's the strategy that I'm going to go with here. Now, if you have like something separate, like a waiting list for a service or something you're going to launch, maybe you want to create a separate list for that. But in terms of your general marketing, communications, clients, all of those things that run your operation, keep them under one list so you don't have duplication or confusion going on in the back end, because this is quite flexible, where to the point where you can actually manage everything in one list. So I'm going to go ahead and create a list here by just calling it main. Let's just say main list, and just click over here. It will fill in a slug. You won't need to fill that in yourself. So that's the list we're going to work with. And I'm going to go next. Now with tags, what you want to do, as I said, tags are really important for segmentation. So this is what you're going to use to really identify actions that someone's taken. So all the contacts will be on your list, but you will know who's done what by adding tags to them. Now, what I recommend is that you have a set of standard tags that you use for your services, your products, or any sort of lead magnets or anything that you promote. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in, let's say, my strategy, my naming convention, which is something you should think about as well. You should have a standard naming convention for your tags so that you understand exactly what's going on when you look at these tags. So for me, I put a prefix to say what the category of tag is, and then I put more specific information to identify that particular tag. So for example, I will have a purchase tag. So I normally put purchase, and I'll put those in caps usually. And then I will go product or service one. Okay, so that's how I would do it. And then I would click down here to add another tag, and I will say lead magnet. If I just capitalize that again. Oops. So I spelled that wrong. Magnet, lead magnet. And I would say free checklist. And what this is saying to me is that I know at a glance that this is a lead magnet, and when this tag is applied, I know exactly what lead magnet. If you have multiple lead magnets like I do, then this is important for you to label them. So you'd have multiple of these tags that say lead magnet and whatever the name of the lead magnet is. You can abbreviate these. I usually put like LM for lead magnet, and I put like a code name or an abbreviation for whatever the thing is. Other tags you might want to add are leads, a lead tag, and you might call this, you might say lead for a specific type of service. So you might say service 1, or you might have a general lead tag. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm going to put a client tag, because that is more general. So you might have a general client. If someone's bought anything, then there'll be a client, and then you would have also a purchase tag to say what they've purchased. Okay. You don't have to add all your tags here and now, because you can do them afterwards. So that's what I'm just going to show you there, and we'll carry on to the next bit. And here you can basically install Fluent Forms. This is something that, a form plugin that's built by the same people that makes FluentCRM, and you're going to need this at some point to actually have people fill out forms and automatically get added to your list. But I'm not going to cover that in this one. I already actually have it installed at the moment, so I'm going to uncheck that, and I will just ignore everything else here at this moment in time. I'm going to go ahead and say complete installation. Here it's asking you, do you want to share non-sensitive information with them so they can improve the plugin? I'm going to say no thanks at this point. It's up to you whether or not you want to share that. And as you can see, it says everything's ready. You can go straight to here to import contacts, or you can go to the dashboard. I'm not going to cover importing contacts in this particular video, so I'm going to go to the dashboard, and we will look at what's been done. So here we are on the dashboard. Obviously it's saying go ahead and put your license key in. It will still work without me activating the license, so I'm going to ignore that at this point in time. So here what we've got is the main dashboard. You can see it says we've got 4 tags, and over here we have menu items like lists. So I'll click on that. You can see we have our main list here. So obviously on the list, we don't have anyone there at the moment, as you can see. If we click into tags, I'll just give you a quick overview of what is what. So we have all the tags here, and you can go ahead and add more tags here on this button here. So for example, I'm going to add another tag. I'm going to call this one application. So this is for, let's say you have people applying to work with you, or to access a service or anything like that. What you want to do is obviously put the name of that thing there as well, or let's say service 1 or service 2 if someone's applying for that. You can put a description as well down here. This is internal only, so you can see exactly what you've done. If you want reminders, then put a note in here, so when you come back to it like 6 months from now, you know exactly why you created that. I'm going to go create, and now that adds that other tag there. So this is how you would add your tags in here, and obviously you can view your contacts from here as well. Again, we don't have any contacts. Up here you have some menu items where you can access the same things as you can from the side here as well. So it's just another way of getting to what you need. If I just click back here, we've got dynamic segments as well. I'll cover that at some point, where we can basically set up some rules where it would automatically segment beyond just you having tags. It can automatically make segments of users or contacts based on certain things that you've asked it to look for. So if we just go back to the dashboard here, you'll see that we have a little checklist on the right hand side, and ideally we want to go through and complete each one of these items on the checklist. Obviously we've got tags crossed out because we've just created some tags. What I'm going to do in future videos, like I said, is show you how you would import contacts, how you would create campaigns. This is where you send out emails, create automations, and also create your forms. Now that you've done the basic setup of FluentCRM, the next thing that you're going to want to do is get your contacts added to the platform. Watch this next video linked on screen or in the description, where I'll walk you through some of the options and I'll tell you what I think the best way to do so is.